Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce to myself. My name is Deni Mulyanto from major accounting 19A. Okay, here I will resume a journal entitled Problem-Based Learning in Indonesian Adapted Accounting Textbooks. There are several points before we proceed to the discussion. 1. Abstract. 2. Introduction. 3. Method. 4. Result and studies, and then conclusion. Okay, let's move on the first discussion. Abstract. Problem-based learning in Indonesian accounting textbook adaptation. A content analysis approach objective. This study aims to develop the problem-based learning method in the Indonesian adapted accounting textbook as a good suggestion to develop critical thinking and problem solving in accounting. Problem solving and on question A and B is carried out to meet the learning objective in each chapter. Okay, let's move on to the next discussion. Universities are still very dependent on textbooks as a learning tool. Textbooks are designed to transmit difficult and ambiguous knowledge in an easy way. Even textbooks are still claimed to have authority in the classroom because of the influence they have when used in the classroom. The use of textbooks is a finding that has significant implication for the accounting education curriculum because it can be a support for facilitator and instructor for accounting teachers. Accounting education began to experience various curriculum changes in particular. In 1965, the accounting education curriculum began to define accounting measurement in more detail. The accounting education curriculum began to define accounting measurement in more detail. GAAP principles in the 1930s were adapted to meet industry accounting standard in the 1980s. During the period 2001 and 2002, further concerns arose regarding accounting education due to corporate accounting scandal. For example, the WorldCom and Enron scandal, which showed how wrong accounting information was reported to the public and investor, so that an accounting education curriculum was needed as an urgent need for economic interest. One of the roles of academic is to change teaching method, for which the American Accounting Association wants that urgent action must be taken, including changing teaching method to help students prepare for careers and jobs as the accounting job market becomes increasingly competitive. Crosser and Lover point out that accounting education, especially accounting faculty, and can help students by facilitating their understanding of career options after school, but can also incorporate problem-based learning method in classroom learning. Accounting is a process of presenting information that requires critical thinking and problem-solving skill. So it is hoped that the information provided can be in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. The definition emphasizes accounting is not just the process of recording and manipulating economic information, and does not even seek to limit the scope of accounting. Like provides an example of research on how experiential PBL learning is useful in the classroom by providing outside project to assist students with field experience. Several profiles research results saw the importance of using PBL methods in accounting education. However, research conducted by Carl and Carl shows that most of the company leaders are frustrated by the lack of problem solving and critical thinking skill of accounting graduates. As experienced by Ernst and Young's public accounting company, employers recommended educators change curricula so that they can always adapt to changing industry practice and accounting requirements. The results of this study prove that there is no educational profession that leads to the PBL method with appropriate textbook measurement and reference. By looking at the importance of the role of problem-based learning method in accounting education, the problem that will be studied with research is how to use Indonesian accounting adaptation textbook to apply problem-based learning method. Okay, let's move on to the discussion, which is about the method of problem-based learning in the Indonesian accounting adaptation textbooks. Content analysis is a research method used to analyze communication, describe its content, and draw conclusions about its effect. Word talk content analysis indicators are obtained with systematic and objective procedure to capture the content of the message, allowing for an explanation of knowledge related to it. The stage of content analysis you should refer to Meyring's 2008 research, which formed a qualitative content analysis model, namely 1. Limitation of units to be analyzed, collection of material. 2. Assess the characteristic of the unit being assessed by presenting by the background descriptively. 3. Select and define unit categorization. And the last, evaluation of the unit. Okay, let's move on the discussion. Next, the result and studies of problem-based learning in Indonesian adaptation accounting textbook. The Indonesian Adapted Accounting Textbook Edition 25 contains 12 chapters that discuss accounting and is adapted to the Indonesian financial accounting standard as in the forward. The Indonesian Adaptation Accounting Textbook 25 edition, which contains 12 chapters, has problem-solving based questions. The limitation of the units analyzed are problem series A and problem series B as shown in table 1. Regarding the categorization of chapter, topic and problem in the Indonesian Accounting Adaptation Textbook Edition 25, the formulation of the problem contained in textbook series A and series B. Question Indonesian Accounting Adaptation Edition 25 is arranged based on the learning objective to be achieved in each chapter or chapter from chapter 1 to 12 as shown in figure 1 on mapping the learning objective model for question in the Indonesian Accounting Textbook edition 25. By completing series A and question B in the first chapter, the learning objective to be achieved from the series A and series B chapter 2 question are to have the ability to be able to explain the characteristic of account and charts of accounts, to be able to explain and describe journalizing transaction using a prior accounting system. The learning objective to be achieved from series A and series B chapter 4 questions are to have the ability to be able to describe the flow of accounting information from an unadjusted balance to an adjusted trial balance and finance status to be able prepare finance from adjusted account balance, to be able to prepare closing journals, able to explain the accounting cycle and able to describe the accounting cycle for one period. The learning objective to be achieved from series A and B chapter 7 questions are to have the ability to be able to explain the three assumptions of inventory cash flow and how the cash flow can affect the position of financial statement. The learning objective will be achieved from the series A and B chapter 8 questions are have the ability to explain and describe the objective and element of internal control, be able to explain and describe the application of internal control for cash, be able to explain the nature of bank account and their use in cash control, able to explain and describe the use bank reconciliation in cash control, and able to explain accounting for cash special purpose. The learning objectives to be achieved from problem A and chapter 11 are to have the ability to be able to explain and describe current liabilities related to trade payables, current portion of long-term debt, and receivables. Payables determine the obligation in terms of payroll, including obligation arising from employee income and deduction from income. And the learning objective to be achieved from the 12 series A and B question are to have the ability to be able to explain and describe accounting in a partnership relationship and to divide net income and net loss from partnership relationship. The categorization of problem A and B from each chapter in the Indonesian Accounting Adaptation Textbook Edition 25 can be seen in Table 1 regarding the categorization of chapter, topic, and problem in the Indonesian Adapted Accounting Textbook Edition 25. The series of question A and B in chapter 1 contain question relating to how to analyze transaction and make finance reports. Problem series A and B question chapter 4 deal with how to analyze transaction and accounts and make finance statement and closing entries, create the account, adjusting entries, financial statement and worksheet and ledger in the accounting cycle. Problem series A and B of chapter 5 question deal with how to analyze transaction and journal income, accounts payable, cash receipt, purchase, cash payment, and create general ledger and trial balance in the relationship between parent and subsidiary companies. Series A and B question in chapter 8 deal with how to evaluate internal control of cash and cash transaction and analyze transaction by making bank reconciliation. Chapter 9. Problem A and B questions deal with how to analyze transaction and enter entries for uncollectible accounts, allowance for receivables compared to accounting method for bad debt, notes and sales, and calculate sales and record receivable transaction. Okay, maybe that's all I can say, more or less. Sorry. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.